Yeah, this was a case of resisting without violence. The trooper told that teen to take his hands and put them behind his back, but instead the teen kept using his phone, and that's when the trooper fired his taser. Elijah Crady was assigned to work at a cemetery 2 miles away from here. When he escaped this afternoon, deputies found him hiding in one of these trees. Experts have said for months that these breakthrough cases would happen. Doctors we spoke to today say as more people get vaccinated, they're starting to spot some new trends in the fight against COVID-19. Throughout the day, we've seen really clear roads. There's only a little bit of flooding pretty much by my feet. It only really covers my feet. But when we were here for Hurricane Eta last fall, it was actually completely covered by water in this area by the mid-afternoon. A few statues will stay in Ward 4, but will be moved out of the downtown area. But the one that's the most attention-grabbing, man and dog marking their territory, will stay right in the same spot. Take this tweet from President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, alleging voter fraud. Twitter flagged it as misleading, and a day later he posted the exact same message on his Parler profile. Only this time there was no flag or fact check, just thousands of likes and comments from other users. Normally in a situation like this, you would have millions of tons of rubble to deal with, but crews have to operate very carefully to clear it out, using one 5-gallon bucket at a time. Police did find the car that caused this crash a mile away on Nelson Street, but they still have not found the driver. Reporting live in Fort Myers, Ashley Graham, NBC2. Breaking at 3, the NFL is taking a hard line on COVID this upcoming season. The league announced today if a game cannot be rescheduled during the 18-week season because of a COVID outbreak among unvaccinated players, the team will forfeit. So our algae situation may get worse. New images from space show blue-green algae remains on the surface of Lake Okeechobee, but that number is out of more than 168 million people who are fully vaccinated. So when you break it down, that means 0.0009% of fully vaccinated Americans have died from COVID-19. Today is the first day Florida's Department of Health can fine businesses for requiring proof of vaccinations. Those fines can be up to $5,000 per incident. The state has banned the use of vaccine passports. And it all started over this stinky, overflowing dumpster. Now it's escalating so much, political signs are being stolen and neighbors are calling 911. It's all too similar to the devastating earthquake from 2010. You're seeing footage from that earthquake right here. It killed hundreds of thousands of people. Meet the $6 million family. They're rich, so why can't they spend one dime? It's a warning every crypto owner has to see. NBC2's Chandler Blackman is live in Fort Myers with more on why there will be fewer bus drivers out on the roads this week. Good morning, Chandler. All the homeowner could do was call police and watch.
He blatantly looked at the camera and he didn't care.
You can see this man prowling around the house before busting in through the back window. He helped himself to everything he could find, and he even got the keys to the victim's truck.
I would label him very bold. I mean, he took the time to sit down on a swing set and drink a beer. He even stole cigarette butts out of an ashtray. I mean, who would do that?
Talk about the audacity. The suspect left with the victim's truck, and that truck was filled with tools. But then he came back, but he didn't leave everything. He took a bike, left again, came back a third time, and this time he left with money and guns. Eventually, the victim's truck was returned, but with a few extra dents on the side. Surveillance cameras caught it all. The group targeting houses and cars in the middle of the night, looking for anything that was unlocked. Neighbors say it's becoming a trend now. This is the third time this year, and at this point, they're fed up.
It's a privacy thing. You own your home, you have your home. This is a great neighborhood. It's always been a great neighborhood.
While neighbors slept in Waterford Village Sunday night, surveillance cameras caught a crime in action.
The video is kind of disturbing when you look at it and you see the way they stopped in the middle of the street and multiple people exit the vehicle.
Neighbors say it keeps happening over and over. Jose Galarza was on vacation and happened to check his security cameras. When he saw deputies near his driveway, neighbors gave him the rest of the story.
When they pulled their camera up, they were able to see that somebody was actually in their driveway and had gone through their vehicles. When they exit the vehicle, they hit multiple houses at the same time. The vehicle pulls up and waits for them. Then they come back, and it seems like they're doing the same thing, because on the other side,
no one was hurt and no one was caught. Lee County deputies did respond minutes later. They're still looking for suspects, and neighbors are still looking for peace of mind.
Those crimes go beyond just stealing something material. It steals people's security.
Reporting in Gateway for NBC2, I'm Ashley Graham.
It's kind of scary. It's like, wow, like we really don't have a voice.
That fear inspired these people to switch from Facebook to Parler, overwhelmingly popular with conservatives. They wanted to speak their mind without the threat of their posts being flagged as false or even deleted.
A lot of conservatives are just trying to get away from the censorship and find a platform that we can use to express ourselves the way we want to.
For months, I feel like we've had to say, hurry up and look at this post, and we'll send it through Messenger before it gets taken down, because it always gets taken down.
Many compare the app to Facebook and Twitter. You can share links, posts, and photos with others, even QAnon content and other conspiracy theories, which would be deleted elsewhere. But there's one thing you won't find on Parler.
Take this tweet from President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, alleging voter fraud. Twitter flagged it as misleading, and a day later, he posted the exact same message on his Parler profile. Only this time, there was no flag or fact check, just thousands of likes and comments from other users.
Dr. Chris Wright-Isaac, a marketing professor at Florida Gulf Coast University, says it's a thin line, bordering risky territory.
Everybody's free to have their opinion. Any opinion's fine, but facts aren't. Facts are facts.
She also says there may be another force driving more than 3 million people, mostly conservatives, to connect in new ways.
A lot of people may feel the need to regroup, re-encourage one another, talk about what's next, maybe discuss what this means for the country, especially if you're a conservative.
As we move on from election season, many hope social media will still be a space for conversation.
I just hope that people are able to express themselves. I mean, we have our First Amendment. You should be able to say whatever you want. I mean, there shouldn't be any censorship. You shouldn't be not allowed to say stuff.
In Fort Myers, Ashley Graham, NBC2. Whether you're new here or born and raised, these statues may have caught your attention.
I thought they were pretty cool. I was walking around, we're looking for a place to eat, and we got pulled into the direction of the statue. I was fascinated by it.
I think it adds something to it, and there's a lot of visitors that come to town. I see them standing in front of them, and I think it makes the downtown interesting.
Fort Myers City Council wants to spread that interest around.
That was a desire on part of the council, was to share them with everybody in the city, not just those that were in downtown.
The art is in the process of moving to different wards.
I think they have been down here for a couple of years, so they've gotten a lot of exposure in the downtown area. So sharing them with the rest of the wards only makes sense.
But there is one thing that won't change.
A few statues will stay in Ward 4, but will be moved out of the downtown area. But the one that's the most attention-grabbing, man and dog marking their territory, will stay right in the same spots.
Some aren't too happy about the statues leaving and potentially getting less attention.
I see 10, 15 older people who came to vacation here, going on a tour of downtown Fort Myers. You don't see that anywhere else.
Mayor Kevin Anderson says this was always the goal.
Plus, it frees up the space for maybe new and additional pieces of art.
The sculptures will head to their new homes later this summer. In Fort Myers, Ashley Graham, NBC2.